Every day, we tell ourselves stories in our heads, and most of these stories has an ending. But it might be the best case for us to realize that endings of all kinds so simply do not exist. Hello, my name is Anthony, and I'm a mind reader and a hypnotist. Which means in the following 15 minutes, I'll be telling you what you already know and boring you to sleep. I don't mean you specifically, but you could sleep if you want, I guess. Don't worry, I won't be putting anyone in a trance or doing anything that they don't want or any weird thing like that. That's not going to happen. In fact, I started doing these kind of things in high school. In high school, when everyone was worrying about football, prom, SAT, boys, I was reading the writings of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. And one day, I discovered a book about hypnosis in the library. And I was so convinced that the book was said to be my future self that I read and reread. And I tried for a year, failing every single time for a year until a year later, it finally clicked. I got it. I understood the secret of influencing people and hypnotizing people. After that year, I became an underground legend. I helped the students gain a better sense of concentration. I helped them focus. I helped them, for those who have insomnia, I helped them relax. And the secret I plan to share with you today has to do with the stories that we tell ourselves. So without further ado, let's try a little bit of a mind game if you guys want to. I invite everyone in this room, or even, I realized when I was in the bathroom that I can hear myself, I can hear speakers in the bathroom, so if you're in the bathroom doing your business, feel free to try this too. Put your feet flat on the ground. Awesome. Sit up straight. Take a deep breath in and out, or else you will suffocate. Good, put your hands together like this. Awesome, and go like this, clamp them down. I went to a Catholic college, and this is how I start our morning every day. Extend both index fingers out like this, and look at those fingers. In a minute, I'm going to invite you to imagine, all right? Allow yourself to accept this experience and turn your voice of rationality and skepticism down and fully embrace and imagine this experience, because I'm going to ask you to imagine that your index fingers that you're looking at are magnets. What would that feel like if your index fingers are magnetic? Now separate your fingers like this and look at the gap. Look at that gap. Separate your fingers and look at that gap. Awesome, awesome. And now imagine that they're magnetic and you see that your fingers are getting closer and closer and closer. Good. And closer and closer and closer. Allow them to touch and don't fight that. See that your fingers getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until they touch just like that. See, we're getting some really good response right there. Let's take this one step further. I want to pick an audience member to help me out. Someone who has a high level of concentration and imagination. Don't worry, again, I'm not going to do anything weird or make you scream like Beyonce or bark like a chicken or something like that. It will be a rewarding experience. So let's do this again. So like this for me, make an OK symbol. Everything is A-OK, awesome. Look at those fingers, your index and your thumb. And go ahead and imagine for me, what would that feel like if those fingers are super glued? Now if you start to ask yourself that question, you will find that your fingers are getting warmer and warmer and warmer, and tighter and tighter and tighter. Allow yourself to imagine that your fingers are now glued, stuck, and tight, just like that. And find that it's getting harder and harder to separate your fingers, just like that. Try and separate it and find that stuck. Really try and separate your fingers and find that they're completely stuck like that. Good. Awesome. Who's getting that experience right there? Can you separate your fingers? Is it stuck? Now it's not. Okay, can I invite you to help me out for a second? And your name is? Amanda. Amanda. Let's give Amanda a big round of applause. Right here. You're now a TEDx speaker. You're on that red carpet. Awesome. Good. Allow yourself to accept this experience and just imagine along with my words. I'm going to ask you to extend. I'm going to move you to my left right here for a second and go like this for me. One leg forward. And do the same thing and go like this. Awesome. Hold a fist. Good. Think of something hard. Not that. Sorry. PG-13. Maybe like a rock or a brick or something like a steel. Yeah, you have that in mind? Good. Imagine that sensation of like the stiffness of rock or brick or whatever traveling through your fist. See that your fist is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Do you feel that? Tell me when. Tighter and tighter and tighter. Yes? See how that sensation travels from your forearm to your joint. Now it's locked tight like that. And see how that just travels to your shoulder, just like that. So now your hand is completely rigid. Do you feel that? completely locked tight, and try and bend your arm and find that you can't. That's hard, right? Good. Now it's gonna stick 10 times even tougher, so now it's even harder for you. Can you try that? Feel that? Yeah? Now try and bend your arm, find that stuck. Good. Once you notice that sensation, notice how your right leg is glued like that. Try and lift your leg up, find that you can't. Good. Once you notice that sensation that that leg is stuck, the same thing goes to your left leg. Now it's stuck too, and try and move out of place and find out it's really, really difficult. You're like a human statue now, right? Isn't that weird? But the weird thing is this, because I can freely move your limbs. It's like my body, right? I can do this. Look, I'm gonna, just like that, and try that locked tight to your cheek. Try, what would that feel like if it's locked, complete, stuck to your cheek like that, rigid? Good. Do you feel that? Tell me when. Now, good. Now try and separate that and find that it's difficult and hard, yeah? Good. And try and find that hard, right here. Just, now that's both hands stuck to your cheek, just like that, and try and separate that and find that you can't. Hard, right? Now you look like Macaulay Culkin. Hold on. Good, I'm going to let you tap you in a dome right here, and you find that sense of pressure completely release from your body, and you'll be back to normal. Just like that, you can relax, and everything's back to normal. You can lift your leg up, yes? How's that feel? You're not simply like an actress. I didn't pay you in the parking lot. You're like, hey, do this for me, anything like that, right? No. Awesome. Let's give Amanda a huge round of applause as she goes back to her seat. Thank you so much. So what is it that we just witnessed here? How can someone like Amanda forget how to move, forget how to bend her arm, and got stuck like Macaulay Culkin? See, the secret, as I said before, is in the stories that we tell ourselves. Every day we wake up, we tell ourselves a story. We brush our teeth, we eat our cereal, and say, today is going to be a good day. Or, before we take our test, I know most students do this, is we believe that I've studied hard, I've worked hard, I'm going to get at least an A- if you're Asian. For me, the story goes like this. I've gotten a C in my microbiome exam, and I'm a failure. I'm not good at science, math, or anything like that. See, what just happened to Amanda is simply she accepted a new narrative, a new story, a new experience. My job as a hypnotist, very simple. All I have to do is just sell you a story. The harder part is for you to accept it. Snapping, clicking, does nothing. I tell her that if I snap my fingers, her hand is kind of locked tight. She accepted that story. She allowed her imagination to take charge. See, this is a huge, huge revelation for me because it tells me two things. The first thing is that we all tell ourselves stories every day. And the second thing is we can rewrite those stories and allow ourselves to accept success and failure in a very different lens. In the Western education, I believe that we tell our stories in a 3-act structure. I'm a theater major, so I know a lot about this. And most, even in English literature, or even in stories that are told in a Western cinematic or theatrical lens, the story goes like this. The beginning, the process, and the end. Which, in other words, is the initiation, the visualization of your goal. I'm going to be a bazillionaire, or whatever your dreams are independently. Your process, I'm going to work super hard. I'm going to sell bananas on New York like every day. And the result, which is usually a happy ending, a reward that we desire. See, that's awesome because many people idealize that structure. Look at people like the great Gatsby, right? Gatsby simply worked really hard. He has a big goal of being rich. And at the end, he made a lot of money. And some people worship that. But precisely what happens when you've dreamt big, worked hard, but failure still comes to you? Because that happens. I'll tell you a quick story. About less than a year ago, I had a huge opportunity to audition for something that would change my life forever. It's not America's Next Top Model. I can't do that. But I cannot tell you what it is, but it's a huge opportunity. It's something that I've dreamt about since I was a kid. And it's something that I worked really, really hard on. And after talking to the respective company for about like a month, I went into the audition room. I was so excited. And during my performance, I messed it up completely. And there's no one to blame but myself. I walked out of the room, I remember the desire I just really wanted the earth to open up and swallow me. That's how I felt. And I was kind of sad for 2 weeks, thinking that how can something like this happen? This is something I dream about every day. This is something that I worked hard on every day. And how can I still fail? It is at that moment that I remembered a book that I read in my psychoanalysis seminar, written by Plato. It is a dialogue of Phaedo, which for those of you who don't know, Phaedo is the dialogue that talks about Socrates' last few moments on earth before he was executed. And here's a weird thing, because in the last few moments in Socrates' life, instead of chilling out and hanging out with his kids and wife, he kicked them out and called his buddies over. Perfect husband, I know. In that few moments when he was talking to his friends asked Socrates, hey man, why aren't you afraid of death? Why aren't you afraid of the ultimate ending, that is death itself? Socrates looked over and said, well, because I don't believe that's the ultimate ending. I believe that something comes after death. Now, putting aside his belief in the afterlife, we can see how he actually argues for this theory in the afterlife and the idea that there's no ending. He has an argument called the cyclical argument, which states that whatever is once big must be once small. Whatever is now small must be at some point big. Whatever is cold must be at some point warm, and whatever is hot now must be at some point cold. Whatever is awake, like myself, must be asleep at some point. Whatever is asleep will at some point be awake. So now you see that how he structures the opposites. Instead of saying that these opposite terms and ideas are in a completely polar spectrum, he says that they're next to each other. They're cyclical. And that is interesting for us, because if we adopt this idea that ending in itself is never real, we'll start to see that failure becomes real when we say that's the end of our story. If we start to see that endings do not exist, what we'll find is something that's actually really relieving. The idea that a failure does not define us. We simply have to stand back up, and there's always new opportunity that comes to us. Same thing with the happy ending, because a happy ending always comes a day after, the month after, the decade after. And if we were to allow ourselves to accept that this does not absolutely define us, this is not our end, then we'll see that we will not suffer the fatal flaw of hubris. With that being said, I'll let you end my speech with the very act that I did in that edition room, hoping to redeem myself. I have some books that I left at the reception. Would someone please pass them along to me? A notepad, 3 books. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. Awesome. Thank you so much. Right here is fine. Awesome. I'm going to need someone who is literate. You'd be surprised. I travel a lot, do a lot of shows. Yes, you are literate. Yes. Let's give her a round of applause as she rejoins us back on the TEDx stage. Yes, tell everybody your name. They might know you, but some don't. Awesome. So here's what's going to happen. I have 3 books here. The first book is a dictionary. Not to embarrass you, but if you encounter anything that's confusing, look it up. I'm more interested in the meaning than it is the spelling of the word. So don't be embarrassed. Use it if anything that you see is confusing. It's here for you. The second book is The Great Gatsby, as I mentioned. And the third book is Plato's Fable. All right. Since I know you went to grad school in Columbia, my parents must be really jealous of you. I'll give you the college-level literature book that you can hold on to. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to flip through the book like this. You're going to say stop whenever you want. Whatever page I stop, not just my book. Yeah, whatever page you said stop on, let's say it's page 98. You go to page 98. Almost. Good. And you memorize the first word. In this case, it would be whatever it is, right? Body related. You get it? Awesome. All right, you ready? You ready? Okay, here we go. Say stop whenever you want. Stop. You missed it. It's okay. One more chance. One more chance. Relax. Look at me for a second and say stop whenever you want. Stop. Good. Right here. Page 34. Go to page 34. Don't look at me. Don't show me. 34, the first word on the page. While I'm doing that, I'm going to come to you guys. And let me pick 2 of you. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to come towards you. You're going to say stop whenever you want. Whatever page you stop on, you're going to memorize the first word, all right? Once you have that word, repeat it over and over in your mind. Stand up, all right? You, sir? Hello, hello, hello? And your name is, let me think. Ah, yes. Correct. That is correct. Congratulations. Say stop whenever you want. Right there. Are you happy with this page? First word on this page. Yes, you got it? Yeah. Repeat it over and over in your mind. Awesome. Stand up for a second and don't sit down until I tell you to. Thank you so much. Yeah, just sit up. Yeah, stand up. Let's pick one person from here. And your name is? Kimberly. Kimberly, can you say stop winner for me whenever you want? Right there. First word on the page. You got it. Stand up for me. And same thing for you. Good. First word on page. You got it? Awesome. So we have 4 people thinking of the words that they want. Repeat that word over and over in your mind, just the first letter, and don't stand up till I say so. Okay, got it? I think the words starts with a T and O. The words that I'm getting are tight, jackhammer, and opening. If I have your words, please sit down. That's 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much. That leaves you. Go like this for me. Go like this for me. Awesome. Think about your word. I'm getting nothing. But it's okay. Don't say anything. Don't give me any signs. Don't give me any tips. Because you did not go for a word. You actually went for some kind of number. I believe, look at me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. First digit should be a 1. And then an 8, a 3, and then a 1 and a 1. I think this is it. All right, for the first time, what is the word or the number that you're thinking of? Out loud. You can say it, it's fine. Death? Okay, not this. How ironic is it that I went on a TEDx forum talking about failure and actually failed? But maybe this is your social security number or your iPhone PIN password. Is it? No, what is your social security number? I'm just kidding, you don't have to answer that. In the beginning, I said this. I said, if you encounter anything that confuses you, where should you go? The dictionary. Just like Plato's argument, everything that ends goes to the beginning. Pick up that dictionary for me. And the word we're looking for is death, correct? That is D-E-A-T-H. The Chinese is a saying. The saying goes like this. Failure is the mother of success. Let's see if this is the true case. Go to page 183. First column, first word. For out loud, to the audience. What is the word? Death. Thank you very much. My name is Anthony. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.